This cheese goes back over 1,000 years of history.
Wow.
First was made by monks that emigrated from France and from Switzerland, Cistercian monks, who settled in the area of the Po Valley. Right. They devised a type of cheese that could stand temperature change and last for many years. The cheese is today, we call it Grana Padano. Right. And the reason why we call it Grana Padano is first, because it's made in the Po Valley, Padano meaning of the Po.
Of the Po.
And Grana, the fact
Grain,
is,
right?
well, it takes on a grainy texture, but the real reason is because when they cut the curds the size of a rice grain. Very small pieces of curd. And that's the significant factor that makes this cheese able to stand the test of time. So, very important to cut the cheese properly. You must respect this cheese. What do I mean by respecting the cheese? Well, the cheese deserves to have a certain texture, and we must crack it. And the way we crack it is we score it, place the knife in, and then slowly work it all around. You know, Grana Padano could be sold at 3 different ages. The minimum age is 12 months. At 12 months, the cheese is inspected. Each and every one of 5 million wheels that are produced a year is inspected. And when it's approved as a Grana Padano, only at 12 months, it's given a fire brand stamp that you see right here. This stamp is placed after 12 months. A special inspector, independent inspector, we call a battatore, will go and check on the cheese and make sure that it's worthy of being Grana Padano. Then at 12 months, it could be sold. But that's when you have a very young table cheese.
Yes, yes.
The average age for Grana Padano is 16 or 18 months of aging. But what I'm cutting today is a very special selection, which we call a Reserva. A Reserva Grana means that it's got to be a minimum of 20 months aging. In this case, this cheese is 27 months. It's produced in February of 2016. And each one, you'll notice, will be marked with the date, month, and year. February 2016. And we're in May of 2018.
Right.
What's special about the winter cheese, you'll notice it'll be very, very sweet. It's got similar characteristics to its first cousin, Parmigiano Reggiano, but people often ask, what is the difference? I mean, the cheese looks very similar, except for the outside. One is written Grana Padano, another one is written Parmigiano Reggiano. Well, both historic cheeses both have a lot of significance. For one, the location where the cheeses, the cows are grazing and where they're milked. This Grana Padano is above the Po River. Parmigiano Reggiano is below the Po River. Grana Padano is made only with the skimmed milk, whereas your Parmigiano Reggiano, they will use both skimmed milk and whole milk in the production. So aside from that, the most significant part of the difference is the location where the cows graze.
You want to wrap these two things up? We'll make the prosciutto.
Sort of put a wedge into it.
Here we go.
Two sides. And let the cheese start to work itself. Split.
How many wheels do you think you've opened to date?
Not hundreds, thousands of wheels. You know, people ask me all the time, how many years have I been behind the counter?
Yeah.
And I often ask them to guess. And I give them a hint.
Since
I
you're a
tell
kid,
them
right?
my age. All right? Presently, I'm 66, but I've been behind the counter for 67 years, Frank.
Because your mother was here when she
There
was
you
pregnant
go.
with you.
Taste this cheese. The aroma, and you'll notice you'll have the fully mature 20-month more Grana Padano. You will have the protein development crunch.
Right.
Extremely sweet cheese.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's such a healthy cheese.
Yeah.
Both Grana Padano and Parmigiano Reggiano
Parmigiano.
are healthy. It's what we call a higher percentage of protein to fat ratio. So, small quantity will give you more protein than, say, a half a pound steak.
Sure.
And the fat ratio is pretty low.
Don't let this tomato nail. Just plain. No oil. 24.72. I want to call him. Yeah, no, that's-
Naturally fine.
All right.
Beautiful. Wow. So good.
See how white this is?
Yeah, so
That's
white.
because it's winter cheese. It's amazing how the cheeses take on a different characteristic in color. Winter white, snow, it snows in the winter. Fall, it's a little golden. It's time of year when cows are feeding on the fourth growth of grass, when you get the autumn colors. And then summer is very dark yellow. Spring is yellowish pink.
Amazing cheese. Amazing. I use Grana on the tables in the restaurant. That's what I use.
And it's important to let the people know it's Grana
Yeah.
Padano, you know, not to
Yeah.
confuse it, because this way they can learn to appreciate the difference.
Sure.
Tastes like that, Frank, is
Great.
good?
Yeah, that's great.
Which restaurants do you serve the Grana?
We do the Grana in all three restaurants.
All three?
Yeah, that's what we use for the tables. And we just use Parmigiano, you know, for specialty items that we run here and there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
it's important, you know, especially if you're doing I always like to say, think where the product comes from, the way the cheese is made, okay? You're doing a special risotto dish from
Exactly.
using Violone Nano and the Veneto.
Right.
So you would want to use Grana Padano.
Exactly.
Delicate,
Yeah.
right? Maybe on asparagus with a little bit of shaved Grana on it, or perhaps you might want to do Bresaola.
Yep.
Bresaola on bed of arugula, Grana Padano.
sure.
But then if you're doing a bolognese sauce.
Yeah, you're gonna use Parmigiano.
Parmigiano,
Yeah.
tortellini, Parmigiano.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so the
Always.
recipes. There's a reason why each recipe tastes a certain way, because of the ingredients from this area that the recipe originated from.
Well, that's what Italian cuisine is all about.
Right.
I mean, that's
Simplicity
I mean,
of the ingredients, but the ingredients, the local products.
Exactly.
Traveling to Italy, right? You don't want to drink Chianti wine
No.
in Piemonte.
You don't even want to ask for it in Piano.
You know, you want to have.
You don't want to
what-
embarrass yourself.
Right. You want to have what the local people produce.
Yes. This is this is what I'm constantly talking about, Lou. Constantly. I'm like,
Okay. Got three beautiful pieces of
that's
cheese.
awesome.
And you got 3 pieces of cheese with 3 different seasons. They're all Grana cheese
From 3 different areas
from
too.
3 different areas. This is from the Veneto, this particular one that was made. All right, remember there's 5 regions that produce Grana Padano. This is the Veneto, this one here. And
So it's
you know
Lombardia,
where? Right,
Veneto, Emilia Romagna,
right.
um,
Piemonte?
Piemonte. Oh, really? I
Right.
didn't know that.
Yes, Piemonte and Trentino.
And Trentino, right?
And
Really,
Trentino,
right? That's right.
yes.
It goes as high as Trentino.
Right.
Yeah.
So each area will give you a little different significance. What I like about this particular cheese from this particular part of the Veneto, it's very close to the area of the Asiago Plateau. You
Sure,
know, just
sure.
below that, the area of Vicenza. So it's really a great.
Well, that's a reason, right there to have Grana Padano because it comes from so many different regions.
Yeah, and each region has
It's gonna be a little different,
diversity,
yeah, of
a little
course,
different.
always,
And,
yeah.
and I look at this as something positive.
Yeah, it is.
Something to say, well, today I have it from the Veneto, it's got a unique flavor from that. Now, tomorrow I have it from Lombardia in the area of Lodi or the area of Cremona.
It's amazing.
And it's going to give you a
Yes.
little different characteristic.
And again, it would be best to pair that with those regions' dishes, of course. Always. All right, great. I think we got it.
All right.